There are some people who are so nondescript that if their identities were stolen, it would be an improvement.
Hey, I'm Brass Polish, and this is the only outdoor activity I'm in any fit state to participate in. I'm not a very fit guy, so this episode will be a treat to discuss.
Think you can do better, cowgirl?
Or not.
No, I can. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Leave your brother's VA out of this.
Looks like this Pegasus. Yeah.
Wow, Rainbow. You couldn't hit a barn door with that kind of a throw.
Oh, Applejack. You are a character I really want to like. I've complained about her southernisms before, but what really gets on my wick is when her time to shine comes in an ensemble story, like a season bookend. The writer's imaginations die a hideous death. Either Applejack is accompanied by apples, or she's blatantly proclaiming how honest she is, which, like the rest of the elements, she doesn't strictly adhere to. There's a fair amount of creativity coming up in this episode, what with the Iron Pony challenges and the running of the leaves. But for Applejack's character, this story's a bigger slap to the face than Rarity's Nightmare Night costume.
In the lily. And I think I'm the top athlete. So I challenge you to an Iron Pony competition.
You each construct a robot army and pit them against each other. The last one to have a robot standing wins.
And for all. Some ponies gotta record my awesomeness for the history books.
Seems Rainbow thinks Twilight has the makings of a novelist, yet takes the piss out of her for it later.
Welcome to the first annual Iron Pony competition!
Spike? Who are you talking to?
When I was in primary school, I used to practice stand-up comedy routines during recess using sticks I found on the ground as microphones. Some of my schoolmates asked me why they saw me talking to a stick. Some people are astoundingly stupid.
Go!
I'll bet if Pinkie Pie were to try to get the wooden cork to hit the bell, she'd creep up to it and yell at it. And it'd jump up.
Show you how it's really done.
The future of Equestria's space program. Apples, the musical fruit.
Yep.
Why me?
Go!
Whoa!
Who rides ponies in equestrian rodeos? Yep, there he goes again. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum.
Go back.
Okay, I just noticed the Olympic horseshoes. Authentic Yakistan headwear.
How do I get roped into these things?
Well, you were just kind of standing there and... Someone get the ketchup.
Oh.
I am awesome, you're not. I am awesome, you're not. That does sound like something Rainbow Dash would sing.
Yeah.
It appears that Applejack wasn't aware that Rainbow Dash was using her wings in some of these events right away. She doesn't start casting dirty looks and assertions at her until later.
Fillies and gentle colts.
Who are you talking to?
But Twilight is still the least observant pony present. That's a hell of a judge you two picked out.
95.
Could Pegasi do long jumping in the sky? Would a cloud retain a pony's hoof prints? Hey, you can't bring more than 2 animals across, you're both cheating.
All right, you two. This is the final event. Give it all you've got.
Did they dig 3 separate mud pits? They could have just dug 2 for that chicken mud thing and done the tug-of-war over one of those.
Horse might come out ahead in this one.
You couldn't do a tug-of-war on clouds. The 2 competitors would just end up headbutting each other.
You can't use your wings to held you around. Huh?
We know Rainbow Dash can carry the weight of at least 1 pony. But with her teeth?
I said.
Surely the loss of weight would have sent Rainbow soaring upwards there. Then again, if there were physics here, AJ wouldn't have had that comedy fall.
Or mudslide in your case.
Ugh, I hate alcohol.
I am the Iron Pony. Only 'cause you cheated.
No, she bally well didn't. Twilight's observation may have been abominable during this contest, but Spike or someone else would have pointed out to her that Rainbow Dash was making illegal use of what she was born with. There were dozens of witnesses, but no one called foul on Rainbow Dash.
My wings.
I didn't think I needed to tell you to play fair.
Applejack, you couldn't possibly have expected Rainbow Dash to not use her wings. She spends more time in the air hovering above ponies during conversations than with her hooves planted on the ground. You plainly didn't realize what you were getting into. You could have left your horseshoes victory at that, but really, you're just as cocky as Rainbow Dash.
The point is to run, so no wings allowed.
You may have noticed that Applejack acts a sore loser again later on in the last roundup. But the big difference there is that she bears a grudge against herself rather than her opponents. So whether any of the other rodeo participants were non-Earth ponies or not makes no difference in that story. Then one episode later, she lost that contest against the Flim Flam brothers at first, and held her end of the deal even though it meant surrendering her livelihood.
Is yours.
And when she was declared winner by default, she got cocky and bunged off a snarky letter to Princess Celestia. We haven't seen her in many significant competitions since then. She was in a rodeo in that episode I can't stop bringing up, but the leaderboard wasn't the focus. Let's hope Season 6 lets Applejack have some dignity in defeat.
As every pony knows, the run is a very important tradition.
Make way for the Iron Pony!
Yes, I acknowledge that Rainbow Dash is being a sore winner, but my ruling is it's not cheating if she's done it all her life and barely even needs to think about it. Like Twilight says in Testing 1, 2, 3, flying is Rainbow's raison d'etre.
I could win this race with both wings tied behind my back.
Well, they're not tied behind her back, but...
Trussed up like a turkey. Well, a turkey you can't fly, that is.
Very funny.
At least now we know we're racing fair and square.
Shouldn't you have a rope wrapped around your body as well? Rainbow Dash is bound to feel constricted, so doing that would make you even.
Oh wait, it's me!
I was just wondering...
What?
No more tugboat captain jokes.
Spike!
Regarding that whole done it most of her life and barely even thinks about it thing, Pinkie Pie was challenged to a no laughing or smiling contest in Too Many Pinkie Pies, but she and her opponents actually were evenly matched there. They were her clones. This is just futile.
Doing up here?
I'm racing.
Who coordinates the running of the leaves anyway? Who dishes out the numbers?
What? You're not an athlete, you're a... Well, you're some egghead. I am not an egghead. I am well-read. Egghead.
I think this whenever I record James Van Allen quotes for Jara White's Moonfaker videos.
A race?
I've decided I should experience it myself.
Well, I think that's just dandy, Twilight. Good luck.
Applejack, I notice you're not getting on Twilight's ass for having a horn and taking part in this race. You must be chomping at the bit to sick her with poison joke to disable her magic and bring her down to your shitty level like you've done with Rainbow Dash. You may be thinking I find Earth ponies boring, but there are a lot of great Earth pony characters who are made interesting by their quirks and abilities. Applejack has neither.
Despite its name, the leaves don't do any of the actual running. Blinking ahead by 350 noses!
Not so easy without wings, is it?
What I hate about this is that Applejack's implying that Rainbow Dash is useless without her wings, which aside from being insulting is dumb. She's being really snobby about it, and she doesn't realize that without wings, Rainbow Dash is a lot like her. Rainbow didn't need her wings to assist her at the end of Applebuck season, did she? Her output would rival or dwarf Applejack's if she took her... I'm gonna stop there. I don't hear any commentary, Pinkie Pie. And Applejack is eating dust.
Don't believe it.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it?
That's not the scenery, Twilight. Rainbow Dash just tripped me.
She did not. And if you slowed down and looked where you're going, like me...
Oh, now you're using your eyes.
What?
She's the head of the pack, all right. The pick of the litter.
The dog's bollocks. Wait, why would Applejack steal a poor doggie's balls? Probably to level the playing field in, like, a leg hopping competition. Oh my god, I am one sick
Fast, Applejack.
Are they on Sweet Apple Acres territory now? Why would AJ allow ponies to stampede through her orchard and bruise all those apples? Unless she and her family set up buckets beneath the trees beforehand. Then the apples would somehow be bruise-proof. I don't get that.
I don't believe it. Applejack tripped me. Rainbow, Applejack would never cheat.
She is.
Accident.
Sure it was.
Me, Pinkie Pie.
You know what we have yet to see? The Everfree Forest in autumn.
Jump. I'm not sure how ketchup is going to help her in this contest. Now, in a hot dog eating contest, it can make them doggies nice and slippery.
Well, I regret that ketchup joke I made earlier now.
I like pickles?
Do you think Spike ever pickles gemstones?
Jack has found herself in quite a pickle as Rainbow overtakes her. Look, Ma, no wings.
Down the line, Rainbow Dash avoids using her wings in the final race of the Sisterhood Social. I bet she expected AJ to be there and get on her ass prior to the social. Although she might have showed this restraint for the benefit of Scootaloo, who would have been left behind because she still can't fly. And they still won. So you can put your cock away. If you make a chicken joke out of that, I'm gonna kill you. Actually, it's been several months since Brotherhood Social aired, and I have not seen or heard one crack about Scootaloo going into a chicken coop. We're making progress. You've heard of spelling bees? These are punctuation bees. In a lesser children's show, there would have been dialogue here. Too bad she doesn't have her Nightmare Night costume on.
What are you doing up here?
We know how much you hate the sky.
No, but the sign's pointed this way. Rainbow. Mind giving me a lift?
In any decently run competition, Applejack would have been out on her ass for this.
What the heck? You said no flying!
No, I said no wings.
You know, Applejack, there is another way to level the playing field here. Head northwest of Manhattan. You'll find an unnamed village there, and the residents will serenade you. What you gotta do is dance with them however you want, and then dance the way every pony else is. Then boom, you'll have wings. Then get the hell out of there before your cutie mark gets taken. Actually, stick around for a while. Mingle with the villagers and sample their muffins and cloaks. When I said in Thanks for the Memories that I was happy with the opening scene with the running of the leaves, I meant I enjoyed it as a continuity nod, not as a reminder of this episode. Given that the rest of Season 5 turned out to be festooned with continuity nods, that one doesn't seem quite so striking now. Again, I won't pretend Rainbow Dash hasn't been cheating, but I'd be pissed off at Applejack enough to do so too. Though there'd be no point in tying my wings to me.
You started it.
And now I'm gonna finish it!
Oh, no, you won't.
Always the tail. Always the f***ing tail. And for once, Rainbow gets her own back. If you spin Rainbow's number 11 90 degrees...
All bets are off!
Oh, no, you don't.
How the Christ and crapping balls did she do that?
Hey, then who won? You? Oh no, but I did get 5th place.
Twilight is 5th best pony.
Never run a race before.
Honestly, she's my 5th favorite.
Is that even possible?
You ran so slow and looked at the scenery.
Well, it was just so splendidly drawn.
Myself, just like my book said.
I don't believe it.
Twilight beat us. Well, with all your horsing around, it was...
You call tripping over rocks and stumps horsing around?
You're right, Twilight.
It's important to remember that the friendship is always more important than the competition.
I'd have worded it, sportsmanship is next to friendship.
Now, unfortunately, because the two of you were busy tricking each other instead of shaking down leaves, many of the lovely trees in Equestria are still covered.
Is this a cross-country marathon?
Bet we can knock those leaves down for you lickety-split. What do you say, friend?
Strangely, simply by wanting to like Applejack, I kinda do. It's not like I root against her when she's facing challenges. Her actions in this and other episodes can perhaps be boiled down to an intolerance to injustice, which is a good quality she has. I better go now before Cloudsdale drops by with a snook. Thanks for watching.
Hot dogs, armor hot dogs. What kind of kids eat armor hot dogs?
Fat kids, skinny kids, kids who climb on rocks. Tough kids, sexy kids.
Even kids with chicken pox love hot dogs. Armor hot dogs.
Hot dog kids love to fight.